Hey guys, it's Jessica Hayes. Welcome back. It's been a while. So today's look is going to be using the Melt Cosmetics 420 palette. I did a little poll on Instagram to see which ones you guys wanted to see, and this was, oh great, I got lipstick on my teeth, cool. This was overwhelmingly highly suggested by everyone. Everyone wanted to see a tutorial with the Melt 420 palette, so if you want to see how I created this makeup look, then you know exactly what to do, I hope. Keep watching. So, popular vote, this one won by far. I did get a lot of votes for the Nabla Platinum palette as well. So I'll probably end up doing like a mini Instagram tutorial of that. If you guys miss my YouTube tutorials, I definitely do a lot more mini tutorials on Instagram because they're just so much easier to edit. It doesn't take me a whole day. The other day I did a really cool quick eye with these colors right here, but I definitely want to do something a little bit brighter. The last colors that I did on this channel was green, so we're just in a bit of a theme right now. Oh, this is so neon and bright. I love it. I haven't used this one yet. So this shade alone is worth the price of the palette. So I missed out on this palette when it originally launched on 420. I just really wasn't buying that much stuff, especially not makeup right now. So I didn't get the original sale of it, and then when it came out again, I was like, do I really need it? I did just get this Joshua Tree palette from Ether, which to me, it's got similar-ish colors in it. It's got, you know, the mustards and greens, and I thought to myself, I don't need another eyeshadow palette. But my good friend Eileen decided to buy it for her. She bought the whole box set when it launched on 420, and she is more of a shimmery girl, and you can see she swatched this little one here and wasn't impressed with it. So she decided to sell it on Poshmark, and I snagged it off her. I think it was about $55 with shipping, so not much cheaper than actually buying it, but I got to support a friend and buy something secondhand. Have no worries about buying makeup on Poshmark. I don't know. As a freelance makeup artist, I know how to sanitize my kit. I definitely wouldn't purchase a used lipstick off Poshmark, but something like shadows or... it's cool. Alright, so far I've forgotten how to do YouTube tutorials. I'm just freaking chatty Cathy over here. This on the lid, putting this through the crease of the eye. I might switch up brushes. I haven't cleaned my brushes in a while, so I'm going to use this Sigma E55 brush just to start to build up that color on the outer corner of the eye. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, is that, hang on, is that like oxidizing? Can you see that? It's like the color goes all the way in here, but that little line where it's oxidizing a little bit, that's a bit odd. That's probably where I didn't have my primer, and maybe the oils from the concealer are mixing in with it a little bit. So I'm going to use this e.l.f. shading fluffy eye shading brush and that same color faded, and just start to blend that out. Melt for me, I have a few of their stacks from before I started doing only vegan makeup, and the matte pigments for me weren't always there. So to pay, you know, over $50 for a palette, I've never bought any of their palettes yet. I think the first few that they brought out were like all vegan except for one shade. So this is my first Melt palette that I've had since they started doing full palettes. I've only ever had the stacks before, and I do really love the stacks. They're just a little hard to work with sometimes, but the colors are so gorgeous that it's worth it. The matte in the stacks just can sometimes get a little bit grippy, but if you're doing more opaque, bold looks, they're fantastic. These are blending really nice. I think you can tell with a matte shadow, if you lay a matte down and then you try to put a darker matte over the top of it, if it's not a great quality shadow, it will have trouble gripping to that lighter matte underneath. And I was layering light and dark shadows over each other the last time that I used it. So I'm kind of like, this line thing that's happening right now looks weird. It's not intentional, obviously. I just don't really know what to do about that. Lucky it looks kind of even on each side. It looks like I've tried to do a little bit of a hooded eye crease or something. But yeah, that's odd. I've never had that happen with any shadow before. I think if I put like a little bit of dark down there, you won't notice it as much though. So I'm gonna use my little color switch, which I've had for so long, just to wipe off that brush. And then I'm going to use the shade right here, Chronic. You can't like say the names of these without using your weed voice. Chronic. I wasn't gonna do dark on top. I wanted to do lighter, brighter top of the eye and then something a little bit darker beneath, but this weird line thing that's happening right now, there's really no way around it. So I'm just patting that dark color in a kind of V on the outer corner of the eye. So you can see this color lays really nicely and very easily on top of that light matte shade, which to me is definitely a test of quality for shadows. If it kind of just flakes off and falls away, or if it takes a really long time to blend, then it's, in my opinion, not a very good quality shadow. But the fact that that dark just lays over the top of the light matte is thumbs up for me. I wish I had some clean brushes. So I'm gonna try to blend this darker green to that vibrant green, and by doing this, I'm just going to take the color that we used as a transition color and then the color that we used as the darker color and just dip into both and use this teeny tiny Cosette 185 brush to blend them together. These nails actually go pretty perfect with this palette. I totally didn't plan that. This is OCC Wasabi, and I've had that color for so long and I barely ever wear it because every time I put it on I'm like, oh, it's disgusting. It's like puke green, not quite even puke green. Maybe I'd like it more if it was a bit more pukey. But every time I do a far out bold color, I want to change it within a day. So I think that trying to blend that may have made it slightly worse, but trying to get rid of this little line that was created with the weird thing that happened. I'm gonna take my Nabla brush that I was using for foundation and just kind of tidy up those edges right there. So I'm gonna use this Blender Hallberg Avoir Flash heavily under the eyes there. I wish that I had more of like a foresty green. This is a little more cool. I'm just gonna use the tip of a Sigma brush that I got in a palette. And the reason why I want to blend this eyeliner underneath my eyes because I'm going to pat shadows over the top of it, and if you leave it just really harsh and crisp, you will end up much like this with a line that is really hard to blend. So if you just blend in that eyeliner yourself, you won't run into that problem. My eyeballs are so red and I swear it's not 420 here, you guys. Alright, so I'm gonna grab that Cosette 185 brush in this color Chronic. You can use like a firmer brush for this step to actually lay the color down. I'm basically just being lazy. Herman, stop, please. Herman's sitting right there. If you can hear him huffing and puffing right now. We have some construction going on across the road, so he loves to book at them all day. Book, book, book. Mr. Baby. I've just laid down Chronic, and now I'm going to use Faded with that e.l.f. big fluffy brush and blend that out. I'm really liking how this is turning out, you guys. Just kind of gonna go over that edge right there and just like kind of messily buff it just to see if we can get rid of any of those harsh lines. That is just insane how that's happened. Luckily the placement is pretty good, but next time I use it, it's my own fault. I should have done the, you know, knowing that I was gonna blend upwards, I should have done the eye primer all over the whole lid, but I've never had that happen before. So I'm gonna use this smaller brush with the first color that we use. What's this called? Shotgun. I don't know what that means with weed things. So I'm just going to use this smaller brush just for a little more detail and really pat that color down. And I'm going to bring it out to kind of make the most of this shape that's just so weirdly naturally happened. And then I'm just using Faded on the 185 brush to try to just smooth out this line that's really prominent from the edge of my primer. It's pretty awesome. There's a fence guy like right there. We're getting our fence fixed right now, so that's not like super awkward like a tradie just walking past my window while I'm like sitting in here during isolation with massive bright lights on, talking to my camera, doing makeup. So this little line situation is kind of unfixable, but I'm glad that I did the primer in a placement that I like. So I just, you know, you saw when I was doing the primer, I just kind of tapped it up. Usually I just tap it up above my lid, not the whole way up. I don't know if it's specifically that primer with this melt palette or the melt palette. But sometimes it's good to leave weird things that happen when you're doing makeup in videos, because we all run into it every now and then, and can kind of show you how to troubleshoot. So I learned either always do your primer and make sure you tap it out to a good area around your eyes, or just bring it right up to your brow bone if you're going to do more of a blown out look, which I pretty much always do, so I don't know why I didn't do that. So I'm just taking that really bright color Shotgun and just blowing out under the eyes a little bit more again. So the next thing I need is a lip. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't bought any melt lips for a really long time. You guys probably already know I'm so obsessed with the Necromancy Cosmetica lipsticks, and they have that same like indie matte kind of feeling to them, and I pretty much just wear those all of the time. I did the last melt thing that I bought, which was a while ago. I got the color Motor. It was a dark green. It was really not a great consistency. Just, I appreciate a dry lip because it stays on, but it was like so dry that it wouldn't even really go on. I haven't tried their liquid lipsticks yet though. For this look, I'm going to be using one of my favorite neutral nude mattes. You guys probably already know what that is because I use it so often, and that's Ofra Dubai. I always use Ofra Dubai and Ofra Staten Island when I'm doing colorful looks. Staten Island's a lot cooler. This is a little more warm. Ofra has been one of my favorite liquid lips for a really long time. I feel like I definitely need some lashes, although I don't personally wear lashes myself that much. Like if I'm dressing up for an occasion, there's something about them and it annoys me so much. Like, why do lashes look so much better in an Instagram photo? I hate that. I never wear lashes, but every time I do an Instagram photo with lashes, I'm like, I look better and I get more likes. I don't understand it. I did start to clean out a drawer yesterday and I found these Eldora handmade lashes. These look so much like those MAC fluffy lashes that everyone was so obsessed with, probably like 7-8 years ago. I can't remember how long ago it was that I worked for them, but it was like a pro item, and then it came into all the stores and all of the MAC girls were so excited. My friend Katie used to wear these always. But we use Eldora because it's a cruelty-free brand and MAC is not cruelty-free. Let's see if I'm gonna need to trim these. I'm gonna do this off camera. You guys know how to do lashes. All right, so I'm back and I have my lashes on. And what I did do was a little bit silly. I used a dark duo glue instead of a clear one. So if you don't have dark eyeliner as the base, it's a little bit sketchy to use dark glue because you can, you know, if a little bit of the glue touches any of the shadow, it will dry dark, which is good if you've got a dark liner there, but not good if you want that bright pop on the lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a spoolie and I'm just gonna hold that lash down, and I'm just gonna use the spoolie to hopefully scratch off that dried glue. You might end up taking a little bit of the shadow off, but you can always go back over it. If you try to apply shadow over the top of that, you're just gonna see the texture of it and it's still gonna be dark underneath. I'm just rubbing this off with the little spoolie. I'm gonna just pull that gluey bit off. And then I'm just going to take the bright color that we used on a small brush. I'm gonna tip it this way so I can just lightly pat it along, not get it on anything else, on that little bit that we just fixed up. So one thing that I usually do when I'm wearing lashes is this little blank space in here. It's nice to just line it with a little bit of darkness so that it's just not skin and lash. I mean, the lashes that I'm wearing are obvious that I'm wearing fake eyelashes, but I think this makes it look a little less obvious. So I'm gonna just grab a little felt tip eyeliner and just color in just a tiny little line. That bare little skin bit right there. See how compared to the other eye, it just makes it flow a little more? You just want it to be really small. If you do it too big, unfortunately, you're gonna have to end up making eyeliner of the whole eye, which is obviously a mistake that's very easily made. Just use the tip of a felt pen and just sketch in just right there. My face feels just a little bit flat, so I am just gonna put a little bit of this Kosas Velvet Melon Cream Blush onto the apples of the cheeks. So there you go, guys. That is a look using the 420 palette. Do I recommend this to you? Yes, I do. I would definitely repurchase this. Not that I'll ever need to repurchase a palette, but what I'm trying to say is I have no regrets over purchasing this palette. I love the sleek design of it. I personally don't have a palette that's just full of these like earthy greens and mustardy colors, which you know that I love those. So yeah, no regrets on this palette. I would recommend it. I'm really glad that Melt are stepping up and finally making some fully vegan palettes, because if one shade in it isn't vegan, then it's not vegan. So yeah, I really am feeling this look. I'm gonna take some selfies. You guys know I'm gonna take some selfies of this. I apologize for the construction noise and Herman's little boof boofs in the background, but you know when you come to this channel, you're always gonna hear Lily and Herman barking in the background. Hope that you guys have been staying safe and sane during this quarantine. I definitely sometimes have days where I feel guilty that I'm not uploading a ton, like I have all of this time, but there's just days where I haven't really felt a massive creative energy during all of this. I have been doing the Reimagine May challenge by Bill Crisafi and Chelsea Wolfe, and that has been really keeping me going. I really like how my Instagram page looks right now. I feel like I can be a little more creative with this challenge, so I've been enjoying that. I did last week or 2 weeks ago, what day is it? What month is it? 2020. Last week I posted a jewelry video, so if you want to see my latest updated jewelry collection, check that out. Beginning of ISO, I did a video of all of my favorites, my obsessions, my quarterly obsessions. So there's some goodies in that. But yeah, just been relaxing. We're hopefully never gonna have a time like this again in our lifetime, to just be able to chill. And I know it's not easy for everyone, especially those that have kids or businesses that they're worrying about. I personally have a small business that I'm a little concerned of when I'm gonna get back to work, but there's really nothing I can do about it. So I'm just trying to take it day by day and just enjoy this time off that I have. It's finally nice outside, so maybe later I might set up the hammock in the backyard, and been reading some books, listening to music. I'm gonna stop babbling. It was so nice to hang out with you guys. I really, fingers crossed, hope that there wasn't any screw-ups with this video. Oh my gosh, so frustrating. I swear I've filmed like at least 3 videos where it's just, I've been editing and been like, oh, that happened. Goodbye, half of the look. So hopefully this one is the magic one. 5th time's a charm. Yeah, I'm gonna stop babbling. I miss all you guys, and for anyone that wanted me to do the Nabla Platinum palette and the Ether Beauty palette, I promise I will do a tutorial of that soon. If not on YouTube, definitely an Instagram mini tutorial. Stay safe, you guys, and I'll see ya when I see ya.